Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Collecting Vintage Unopened podcast. My name is Brandon Stewart. This is a podcast devoted to discussing anything and everything in regards to the collecting of vintage, unopened, and sports and non-sports cards. And tonight I have a special guest, a fellow unopened collector named Dan Youngblood, who's been kind enough to join the podcast this evening. How are you doing, Dan?
Doing good. I really appreciate the invite. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. My pleasure. So I thought we could start with kind of the usual question I ask fellow unopened junkies. A little bit about your background in the hobby and how you got into collecting unopened material.
Okay, so as far as unopened goes, I'm really kind of new at that, really in the last 4 or 5 years. I've been collecting since the late 1970s. I got started in the hobby flipping baseball cards in the early 1970s, 1974, 1975, 1976, Topps cards. I can remember flipping with my friends, for keeps. Interestingly, there was no 1975 Topps in there. I don't know why. These weren't my cards. I got them from my brother, and I won them from other friends. And, we made stupid rules where shades, were allowed, shades weren't allowed. And that's how I got into collecting baseball cards. That turned into 1978 is when I can first remember opening packs. Coming home from church every week, my father would take us to a drugstore in Howell Township, New Jersey, and he would buy us a couple wax packs. And I would open those 1978 Topps cards, and I couldn't believe the condition, the smell, just the pristineness of it all. And that's what got me hooked. And I became a big time set collector after that. Sets, no unopened yet. I ripped all the way through the 1980s, putting sets together. I didn't become a vintage or unopened collector, by focus until about 4 years ago. I've had stuff kind of by accident, mistake. 1990 Donruss wax case, 1989 Donruss wax case, 1987 Topps. I had a Billy Ripken error card, cello pack. So, I had a little bit of stuff. And then, going into the early 2000s, I really got into breaking 1978 Topps to put together a graded PSA set, which I spent a lot of time on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that here because this is an unopened podcast. But I ended up succeeding in building a completed PSA 9 or better set. And that led me to where do I go from here? And that was when I already knew Tim Monahan for many years ago, going back to the CU forums. He was a big pack ripper along with me. And, one day he made a post over there saying, listen, I have some 1978 Topps rack packs for sale. No stars. And I said, this sounds like it would really be cool to maybe display with my graded set. And, I purchased that one rack pack from Tim, which was BBC graded, or actually, no, it wasn't. It was raw. I ended up getting it wrapped, not graded. It's a rack pack. So that was what kicked off my whole unopened venture. And it's been crazy for the last 4 years. So.
Wow. So 1978 Topps is one of your passion projects. Is that translated into unopened? Is that a focal point of your unopened collection?
It is, yes. I mean, I'm kind of all over the place. It's baseball mainly, but 1978 Topps is a focal, yeah.
And how many 78 Topps unopened packs do you have in your collection?
I have 6 or 7 cello graded packs. I have about 10 rack packs. And I have, a couple unopened trays, and pretty much that's it.
Sure. So you're obviously, well, I for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see there's a big Lou Gehrig sign in the back. You're a Yankees fan. Are there certain players that you also focus on in unopened?
Yes, sir. Don Mattingly, and shout out to Brent Myers, a little bit of Nolan Ryan.
Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of
and the focus though is Thurman Munson. That's
awesome. That's a good one.
Yep.
and you mentioned Tim Monahan. For those of you that are listening or watching, and if you watch my YouTube channel, you might have heard mentioned Tim a few times. But Tim is one of the Buddhas of unopened. He is.
I call him Obi-Wan Pacobi.
Yeah, I mean, if any of us have a question about collation, or you think this pack is legit, if he says it's not legit, we run away typically if we know what.
Yeah, and he led me to a couple of social media groups. One of which we know well, Vintage Wax and Packs, which was just a table turning event for me as an unopened collector. So
yeah, to be honest, yeah, it's almost like it's a tale of two different collections for me. It's before that group and after that group. That group just changed everything for me. And
absolutely, I'm with you.
Yeah. And so you have Mattingly racks. What sort of is it Mattingly rookie racks, or what sort of anything?
Yes, yeah, I have a 1984 Topps Mattingly rookie rack. I have a 1984 Topps Cello Mattingly rookie, and I have a 1984 Fleer Mattingly Cello rookie.
Have you ever snagged an 84 rack with Mattingly?
Yes, I do. I have that. Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah.
I have a rack, a Topps rack, Topps Cello, Fleer Cello.
Oh, okay.
Don't have the 84 Donners yet. That's on the bucket list.
I saw one the other day on eBay. It was in this giant lot. I don't know if you saw it. It was a giant lot of Mattingly packs. One of the packs was an 84 Donruss. The entire lot went for $350. And it was about 20 different Mattingly packs, including the 84 Donruss. I missed it by like 1 minute. It was like, that.
Wow. No, I didn't see that. And I can't imagine putting an 84 Donruss rack in the middle of a whole bunch of other nondescript racks, but.
Well, it seems like that's how the deals are on eBay. You just get someone that's just not aware. It sounds bad, but.
No. I mean, listen, there's deals to be had. If I had more time to scour eBay, I probably would look more for that. But I focus on these groups that we're in, just because they give you a sense of absolute certainty with what you're buying, with what you're looking at. I'm not a big collation guy. I lean heavily on guys that we know well about, Tim Monahan and Mike Cirincione and Kurt Christensen and a whole bunch of other guys. And, for collation on rack packs and cello packs. That's not my niche. I'm not on eBay scouring that. I don't have the ability to say, hey, that's a great deal when collation comes into play. I have to lean on guys like that. But, I wish I had a little bit more time to scour eBay, because you're right, there's some deals to be had there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's what is the oldest pack in your collection?
Oh, the oldest pack is my 1975 Topps rack pack with Thurman Munson showing on front.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's kind of a foundation piece for me.
Sure. Well, in 1975 Topps, at least in the group that we're in, the Vintage Wax and Packs group, seems like 75 is one of those cult following years, similar to 78.
Yes, it is. It's hugely popular. And in all honesty, it's a few years before my focus. I'd like to tell all my friends that I'm 1978 on up, unless, there's something I really would like to have, that's a Thurman Munson pack or something. And I'll show a couple of those a little bit later. Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, and for the budget, 78 and later is
oh, for sure.
It's the most reasonable. It's still out there, which is great.
Yes, it is. 1978 Topps is probably the earliest year where there's, it's what I would consider semi-affordable in true unopened state.
Yes.
So I think anybody would agree with that does this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, especially in the last 2 years with the price jump. Sometimes I go back and I look at the collectors forums and I see some of Tim's old posts of packs for sale.
Oh yeah.
I saw one the other day and it was a 76 Topps rack. I think this is 2017 and it was like $360. And I was like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. I've only been in this for 4 years or so. So, I wasn't in the game back then. I was still opening those packs. So, and having them graded and, you know, good
no,
for those guys.
yeah, you and I, you no, yeah, exactly. No, you and I have about the same amount of time in this. And I
Yeah.
actually started as a wax pack collector, and then
Okay.
shifted to racks. And so
Awesome.
yeah, so we're about the same.
Graded wax or
Yeah, I actually started with like penny vintage football packs. My first pack that I bought was my first like truly vintage pack that I bought was a 54 Bowman football penny pack.
oh, nice.
And then I had 3 or 4 of them at one point. I just kept buying these penny packs the same year, and I just kind of hoarded them. And then I was like, you're a baseball guy. Like, what are you doing here? That's my first, and it sounds like baseball's your real.
It is 99.2%.
Yeah. What is it? Football, the other stuff, or what other sports?
I have one football rack. It's a Phil Simms showing rookie on top because I'm a New York Giants fan.
Mhm.
And I have one basketball rack. I think it's a 1990 or 1989. It was a 1989 Fleer with a Michael Jordan on the back. Other than that, I'm baseball, man, and some non-sport. I also dig non-sport pretty
Oh,
much.
that's good. What sort of non-sport do you focus on?
Wax boxes, complete wax boxes, wrapped or unwrapped. I mean, I've a Close Encounters of the Third Kind box I picked up. TV shows from my childhood, really. I have an A-Team wax box, a Knight Rider, things like that.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, no, I think some of the non-sport I'm drawn to because the artwork is just so incredible on some of the boxes or the wax packs individually.
Oh, I agree with you. Like the Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the wax packs are incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
Aside from bringing you back to your youth and remembering going and watching this in the movies and stuff, it's the artwork is absolutely a feature draw.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And I think that's one thing, obviously, we don't get with rack packs.
Right.
The appeal is obviously who's showing or who isn't showing.
Correct. The visual who's showing. Yep. I'm with you 100%.
So you must have quite a few. Do you focus on rookie cards with 78 showing?
Hall of Famers, also rookies. That's a work in progress. Anything 1978 Topps. That is probably a direction I'm going to focus more on in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Just because really it's the foundation of my entire collection to go along with my complete PSA graded set. It's what brought me to the hobby, and it's what interests me the most. I mean, listen, I collected all the way through the 1980s and into the very early 90s, and a lot of good stuff there too. I love 85 Topps, so 83 Topps, any 87 Topps I like it. Mm-hmm. And dare I say 1988 Topps, I think is a very cool design that kind of brings you back into the mid to late 60s, a little bit of flavor on that design, but that's the junk era. So it's not as desirable, but I have a lot of interest and sometimes I have to rein myself in to realize I need to focus on what I'm collecting if I'm going to actually make any progress. So that's where I'm kind of getting back to now, but I'm happy with what I've done in the last 4 years. It's an amazing hobby, and I don't think I'll ever leave unopened from here on out.
Yeah, I've thought about that sometimes too, because you're right. You can't, without focus, you can go into a tailspin. And I think we've all had those moments where it's like, oh, I want you to go chase a new item. Well, money has to come from somewhere.
Yes, it does.
And there's only so many packs out there that you can afford that are desirable. So I think it's so important to have focus. And I'm still
very, very important, man. And you say an interesting word there, tailspin. It's like, it's like almost a feeling of where do I go from here? I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I'm reacting more than I'm searching. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah, and there's this fear of missing out that I think it's one of the reasons the unopened market is so strong.
Yes,
it's because there's a lot of guys like us who are, well, if I don't get this, someone else is going to get this. And then it won't be mine.
Liz, that's just the nature of a collector.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it's so what are I've always wanted to ask in previous podcasts, but I haven't really asked in any of the people I've interviewed. What are your thoughts on actually the pack rating, assigning a numeric number to a pack? Do you think that, because I go back and forth with this idea, like because of the number one, the fact that the pack can get damaged potentially when it's slabbed, the fact that sometimes after a grade is assigned, you'll see a gum hole that forms in the wax pack. Do you ever find yourself like frustrated by pack grading? Or
Absolutely. And I have mixed feelings on that. I have, I got into it a little bit in the beginning with wax packs, but I don't have any interest to collect graded wax packs because of the whole gum sliding around and poking holes through the wrapper. I mean, that's like just a pitfall that in transit through no fault of anybody else, things can happen to wax packs for more than anything else. So I've shied away from them. Cello packs, on the other hand, I really enjoy graded cello packs. Less problematic. That gum is in between the cards, and once you get that pack in that holder, there's, to me, at least with the experience I've had over the last 4 years, there's much less chance of having that pack damaged with something as simple as a little bit of shipping. And I don't see how rack packs can really be graded on any reasonable scale. So it's it's mixed feelings. I really enjoy graded cello packs.
Sure,
that's where I'm at.
Well, and it seems like and for a lot of the years, the Tops wrap the cellos very tightly. So they are, to your point, they're much more secure compared to wax. Just seems so much more fragile.
Yeah, I mean, the gum is just floating around, on top, right between the wrapper and that first card, and it can fly from one end to the other, and it pokes holes in the wrapper, and that's just a shame. You see it so many times.
Well, yeah, and it's amazing. Some of the packs that have come up for auction recently. I think it was a 1948 leaf that's currently up for auction at Memory Lane. It's a 48 leaf wax pack. I don't know how many of these are in existence right now.
That's amazing.
It's going for $51,000 right now.
Out of my league.
yeah, just a little. We're only tens and tens of thousands of dollars off, but for most of us. But thanks for sharing your views on that, because I go back and forth with, I don't mind the cellos, assuming it's a tight wrap cello that's being graded. If it's a loose cello, sometimes it seems like it warps the cellophane when they encase it. I don't know if that's a problem that PSA is working on, but that's just like I see a lot of 87 Fleer Bo Jackson cellos, and it's a 10, but the pack looks messed up because of the way they've encased it. I don't know if you noticed anything like that.
Well, I mean, I have an 89 Fleer Ripken rookie that's a real loose wrap, and it's raw, and I almost don't know if it's legit, to be honest, because of that. And then I also experienced some 1981, 1980 Tops loose cello packs that I don't, I got them from Baseball Card Exchange, so I do not think that they're not legit, but they got gum dust all over them. The front of the pack and the back of the pack, they got dust. Those loose wrapped cellos, it's like there's gum dust all over everything. So it's kind of a ruined pack, as legit as it might be, and that loose wrap helps make that happen. Fleer, you don't have to worry about that because there's no gum.
Absolutely. So. I wish Donruss would have made cello packs.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how many times I've said that, man, especially with 84. I love 1984 Donruss, and 83, who doesn't? But yeah.
Yeah, and you have some 83 Donruss. You have I think I recall you have an 83 Donruss rack with George Brett on top. Do you know?
Yes, yeah, I have a quite a handful of 83 Donruss racks that I have here to show if we have time.
I was going to say we're at that point. If there's items you want to show, as many.
Oh yeah, I have a whole bunch. I mean, hopefully, do you have any more questions?
Absolutely. Or, no, we can. Yeah, no.
I made one bad comment already about a 70s rack being graded, and of course, I know racks aren't graded.
No, by all means, yeah. So yeah, whatever you want to show.
All right. Well, let's kick this off. I really wanted to show some of my Thurman Munson stuff.
Sure.
Is, growing up as a big Yankee fan in New Jersey, I was a Thurman Munson fan. Who wouldn't be? So I have two cello packs here. And these are not graded. This one right here is a 1978 top cello pack. This shows the Cincinnati Reds team card on top.
Sure. That's
and this I actually obtained from Stephen Kahn, who we know on our groups. On the back of this pack, and it's going to be tough to see, is Thurman Munson.
Oh, that's
so. So the reason I think this is real cool is because, during the 1970s, the Yankees and the Reds had a thing going there. In 1976, the Yankees got swept in the World Series. So there's a lineage there. But the reason I want to show this is because I also have a 1979 Topps cello with the Reds team on back. I'm on front, and also Thurman Munson on back.
Wow.
So that's a 78 and a 79 with the Reds team on front and Thurman Munson on the back. And the 79 I got from Tim Monahan. So it's just a cool tandem right there. Hopefully that showed up decently.
It did. It's nice when you can pair items like that.
Yes. And they're not, it's not graded. And I don't think I'm going to grade them. There's a few minor issues, but I don't care. So as far as Thurman goes, I have a really nice 1979 Topps rack.
Oh, wow. And that's a beautifully centered Munson.
It's sweet. And it's Munson's last card, obviously, after his accident. Just a real cool piece to have.
Wow, yeah. That for those of you listening, most people watch on YouTube, but for those of you listening, Dan is holding up a 1979 Topps rack with a beautiful Thurman Munson showing on top, dead center. That's normally that card's very off center. It seems like
it's beautiful. Also on the back of this rack is Mike Schmidt, so that doesn't hurt.
He wasn't too bad. He was all right.
No, he was okay. All right. So next, I'm going to show you a 1977 Topps cello. And this is a really cool pack. I won it on an auction. It was an REA auction not too long ago. And this is a World Series card up top. And that's Johnny Bench getting over on the Yankees pretty good right there. But that's Thurman right behind him. So, to me, this is the Thurman Munson cello. I'm sorry, Johnny, you were a Hall of Famer and awesome. But that's why it's in my collection, because
that is a beautiful cello pack.
It's a graded mint 9. It's just in beautiful condition. So that's awesome. Really, really excites me, And then, of course, I have the cornerstone of my unopened pack collection is this 1975 Topps rack with Thurman Munson on top right there. So again, that's a really nice center card. No issues. So that's my Thurman.
And the header on that 75 is very clean as well, which
yes, it really has great provenance. I got it from a longtime guy on the CU forums, and it's just an awesome pack. There's several guys out there that have a Thurman on front 75 Topps rack. I know Mike C has one. I know Stephen Kahn recently got one, and good for them because it's an awesome pack.
That's one of my favorite Munson cards. The 79 I actually think is my favorite. I don't know why. I think it's the sideburns just being so prominent on the card, and it's obviously the tragedy of his of it card. But
I do have one more, and I don't know why I didn't put it in that pile. Hold on one second. Here it is. Okay, I went out of order there with Thurman. This again, like that 77 cello. That's not Thurman's card there in the middle, but that's him behind the plate. And that's Doug Alt at plate. And, when you talk about tragedy, the sad thing is that he his life was cut short too for different reasons. It wasn't, like Thurman's, but that's another guy who passed away way too young. So that's, to me, is just something that hits home there. There's Thurman behind the plate catching with Doug Alt at the plate. You can always Google Doug Alt and find out what happened to him, but it's symbolic of that unfortunate tragedy. And okay, so that's Thurman. I don't want to get too down here. I mean,
No, this is great. And I did not know Thurman was on another 78 card other than his own card. That's pretty
yes.
Good. Yeah.
That Doug Alt. Yeah.
I'll have to, and I've actually never heard of him. I'm going to have to give him a Google search.
He was a really, he would be considered almost a blue chip prospect at the time. So yeah, read up on him a little bit. I did want to show this one real quick. It's another 78 rack.
Sure.
And this is the one that got me into unopened collecting right here. This is the nondescript rack I got from Tim Monahan about 4 years ago. And I sent it off, and this is what the mistake I made before I said graded. No, I had it wrapped by BBCE. And it's just, kind of nondescript, has Roy White on the front, but this is the rack that set me off on my issues with unopened. It's a beautiful rack.
Yeah.
And I thank Tim Monahan for making me the lush I am today. So, I can go a whole bunch of different directions here. Let's talk about Don Mattingly. That's while we're in the player arena here, and this is a beautiful 1984 top cello pack, graded a mid-9. Oh man, let's see if I can get that.
There you go. That's perfect.
Gorgeous pack. Mattingly rookie. Here's that Fleer. This is a mint. This is near mint 8, not a 9. Of course, we know 84 Fleer is kind of tough. And here's my rack pack with Donnie ball game right in the middle cell, awesomely centered. This is a great rack right here. So I'm super stoked with this one.
Well, and what's cool about that is because of the collation irregularities, he's typically in the cell furthest from the header. You actually have him with the rare collation irregularity that occurs where he's in the middle. That's pretty cool.
Yes, just an awesome piece to have. I agree with that, my friend. And I guess I'll segue into all my other 1978 Topps racks here, since really that's my foundation as a collector. This is a beautiful. You got a Willie McCovey record breaker right there in the middle. Awesome, Roy Smalley there. Not an all-star, but I remember him well. Jim Palmer. Gotta love Jim Palmer. And Rick Dempsey right next to him. Teammates.
That's one of my favorite Palmer cards. He's got most of his cards are awesome. Either the pitching pose or the up close. Like
he knew how to do it with pitchers, man.
Yeah.
Tom Seaver's the same way, and Nolan Ryan. There's a little Johnny Bench for you.
Oh man, that's beautiful. I'm a Reds fan.
So you are a Reds fan?
Yeah, it's embarrassing this year. I'm kind of to say it.
Yeah, I was going to say that's tough to lose a no-hitter. Yankees kind of did that way back when with Andy Hawkins. I don't know if you probably don't remember that guy, but in the early 1990s, it might have even been the early or the late 1980s, they lost a no-hitter too on some crazy error and just hideous. So there you have Reggie Jackson World Series card on top, along with Barry Bonds' father right there on the other side, Bobby Bonds. That's a cool piece. Brett Meyer, eat your heart out here. That's your number 400 Nolan Ryan center cell. That's a toughie right there. Thank you, Tim Monahan. No surprise.
Seems like a lot of us, some of our best stuff is from him. Like
yeah. This is awesome. Jack Morris rookie.
Oh, and that was Doc Ellis also on top, right?
Yes, it was.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
That's a very nice Doc Ellis card.
And how did you notice that so well, being Doc Ellis? How did that ring in your head?
Oh, of course, no hitter on LSD is what.
Oh my God, yes, that's right. I forgot about that story. I did know about that.
Yeah, for some reason, the first thing I think of, but yeah.
It's those 1970s, boy.
Yeah, no kidding.
And here's a cool 1978 Topps tray right there. Wax tray.
And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you have watched my channel, you have never actually seen a tray. I have never owned a wax tray.
This one is courtesy of Kirk Christensen a few years ago. It's got that price. It's got a price sticker on there. 59 cents.
Oh, can you show that again?
Absolutely. Oh, what's that?
Or can you show the tray again?
Oh yeah, sure.
Wow, that's beautiful.
The cherry red of 78 wax packs just draw me. I mean, obviously it's my foundation year, but I ripped so much of this stuff.
Do you have any? Oh, sorry. Do you have any 78 O-Pee-Chee packs, or is it just?
No. I do have a 78 O-Pee-Chee wax pack here, and I said I am not a wax pack collector, but I submitted this one myself, and this is a mint 9, and this one has Willie McCovey on the top because I did, it's pretty easy to see through that red wrap. So that's a mint 9 wax O-Pee-Chee 78 with Willie McCovey on top. And one more, and this is I consider my crown jewel. It's a graded a 7. It's a cello pack, but it's the home run of the set right there. I don't think it needs any introduction. That is Paul Molitor, Alan Trammell, rookie card on top. Near mint 7. And I don't know how that's not an 8, but we've all been through that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's a beautiful cello. Yeah, no, something about 78 cellos. I'm right there with you. I'm not even a big cello guy, but I'm scared to go down that rabbit hole because once you open up Pandora's box.
They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And the wax packs, the cherry red of the wax packs are just absolutely. I ripped a lot of stuff in the early 2000s, building my graded set. Many wax boxes. I ripped an entire 3-box rack case. And I didn't even care if there were stars on top. I ripped them all, man. So I didn't even check for stars. So, you want to slow me down a little bit? Or am I going too fast?
No, you're doing great. No, this is perfect.
There's some other stuff I'd like to show you.
Yeah, whatever you want to show, man.
This is really an awesome piece here. Thanks to Mike Honeyman a while back. This is a 1979 Topps rack, and it's just incredible. Really, it has 4 Hall of Famers on top. If you can pick them out right there. We got Nolan Ryan. There you go, Brent Meyer. Catfish Hunter. And then you have the league leaders there with Raleigh Fingers. And, I'm sorry, Ron Guidry's not a Hall of Famer yet. So 3 Hall of Famers on top. And Ron Guidry won't be a Hall of Famer either. I'm just a spoiled Yankee fan. So,
that's a beautiful pack.
Yeah, oh my God, it really is.
A triple Hall of Famer 79. You don't see that every day.
No. Nope. I mean, it's just an amazing piece when Mike Honeyman, you get into a couple conversations with him, and the next thing you know, he's like, hey, look what I have. It's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So that's a really awesome piece. And we're on Nolan Ryan. Here's an 81 Topps with him on top in the middle section. Okay, so 83 Donruss we talked about before.
One of my favorites and one of the toughest.
Absolutely.
People that don't collect, people that are not into unopened do not understand what a hunt it is to try to track down some 83 Donruss racks.
So we have this one's got Kirk Gibson on top. Very cool. And here's your George Brett over there on the left there. Gorgeous, just absolutely awesome.
That is a gorgeous pack. That's a really nice Brett card just overall. I mean, he's another one. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards.
This one's gonna knock your socks off a little bit. This one's got George Brett again in the center cell, but there's Dave Winfield too.
Oh, very nice 84 Donruss. That's gorgeous.
Yes, that's 84. I had it in the wrong pile. My bad.
Oh, no, not at all. No, it's.
Let's go back to 83. Grab from the wrong. Okay, Eddie Murray. $83 Donruss, Eddie Murray in the middle cell.
And he's surrounded by pirates, which is kind of cool.
Yes. Love those old school pirate hats, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 83 Donruss with Paul Molitor. Paul Molitor.
And I am jealous of your 83 Donruss stash.
One more. Phil Necro on top.
And I think that was. Did you get that from a Honeyman in the Facebook group?
I did.
Yeah, I remember when you snagged that one before.
I was going to say, how did you remember that? That was kind of a good long spell ago.
You know, the ones that get away. I have a photographic memory.
Oh man. Well, you never know what the future holds. So
absolutely, yep.
Well, I kind of went into 84 Donruss there before. Got out of whack there a little bit. We showed that Brett and Dave Winfield on top. And here is 84 Donruss with Ozzie Smith. Awesome. Gotta love Ozzie. Cal Ripken.
That's gorgeous. I like the price when there's a price sticker too.
Yes. It adds a lot of flavor to it, man. It's just brings you back to. Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, it used to bother me. Stickers used to bother me when I first got into it. I was like, this is just detracting. And now it's part of the story. It's part of the journey.
Yeah. I mean, this was laying in a bin at probably some discount rack and wasn't picked up. Not at that price. It wasn't. So, I mean, I have other stuff. I'm going to show you. This I love. I got this in the group as well. Change direction a little bit. This is 85 Tops with a nice McGuire showing. So.
And Tony Gwynn, who was no slouch.
Oh yeah, that's the All-Star card. Not that there's anything less desirable than that, but those mid 80s Tops racks always had that All-Star card next to the header card. Tougher to get that base card showing on top. You have one less chance.
That is you've got some really, really nice stuff. I was not aware of the extent of your 83 Donruss run. That's pretty that's pretty envious. Now in the Munson run, that's really, really cool. I remembered when you snatched the 79 Tops from Tim in the group because I saw it because it had reds on top. And then when you said you had the 78 also, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's just a great tandem to have. And everything's relative. I mean, Tim, it makes me want to bring my stuff to the curb when he shows me I think it's a 73 top cello with Munson on top. It's like just mind boggling, so everything's relative with this stuff.
Well, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned probably in the past year, and it's a simple idea, but it takes time to learn. It's appreciating what you do have.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
someone's always
I joke, tongue in cheek. I'm not bringing it down to the curb.
Oh no, of course, no, no, of course. But sincerely, like it's hard to, because some of the guys, especially in our group, when I see a 72 tops rack or something, I'm just like, all right, I'll just quit now because there's
that's why it's such a great group, man. I think it was Jim Nels that's got some stuff that would just he's late 60s full wax boxes, it's just museum type pieces, and I don't know how you keep that stuff at an arm's length like I have here.
I would just look at it all the time. I wouldn't
not worry about it.
Yes, that's very true. Yes, safe deposit box would be the best place for that. Well, Dan, thank you so much for coming on and showing us some of your collection and for chatting about this.
It's been a blast. It's been a blast. I really had a good time.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. And if any of you out there, if you're not inspired to collect unopened after some of these podcasts and some of these great collections, maybe one of these days you'll come to the dark side. But it's as Dan can attest, it's incredibly addictive, and it's
an extremely bright dark side.
That's a great way to put it. Well, that is what we have for you guys this evening. I hope you've all enjoyed getting to know another unopened collector. I'll be back with another episode, hopefully in the next few weeks. Until then, take care, everybody. Take care of each other.
Brandon, thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you, Dan.